We know that Whitehall officials are discussing all sorts of plans in case of a no-deal Brexit. What comment would you make on the plans that we've heard of on the mass slaughter of thousands of sheep in case of a no-deal, and for those sheep who potentially are going to be trapped in lorries en route to slaughter in EU member states?
We are not going to have the mass slaughter of lambs or sheep in lorries en route to EU member states.
So what would you do with those sheep en route if the queues are expected to stretch perhaps some 20 miles back at ports? What are you going to be doing with those sheep, those live exports
Indeed.
that are going to be in lorries?
Well, one of the things, again, that we hope to do is to ensure that the concerns that have been expressed about access, both through the Dover-Calais route and through other routes to European markets, are properly addressed by making sure that we have the effective flow of goods that all of us would like to see, even in the event of a no-deal exit.
So you're saying in the event of a no-deal, there are going to be no queues, so no barriers at borders?
Even if we get a deal, there are always the opportunity for queues. One of the striking things is that during the recent Gilets jaunes protests in France, it was the case that German manufacturers, in order to get car parts to Spain, had to charter aircraft for it. So there are factors, deal or no deal, outside the control of the UK government, which may impede or create queues at any time for any exporter. But our aim is to try to ensure that we minimise the risk of queues or other frictions.
Both NFU and, in Wales, FUW have expressed concern, though, about potential slaughter, and there needing to be these backup plans. So what are you going to do in case of those sheep, lambs, going to slaughter, being trapped in those lorries?
Well, we are doing everything we can in order to ensure that, that we don't have the situation or the scenario that you describe, and we know that the French government and the Port of Calais are also making their own preparations as well. But you do make an important point, and both the NFU Cymru and the Farmers Union of Wales and others have made the point that of the sectors of agriculture which are most exposed to EU exports, it's undoubtedly the case that the lamb and sheep sector is the most exposed, and it is also the case, as you know and as the committee knows, that it's often the case that in particular that upland sheep farmers are among those who operate at the lowest margins. We're very conscious of that, and we have a number of mitigation measures, but we would not want to, at this stage, attempt to, what's the word, feed some of the more lurid and therefore unfounded speculation that some, not
so
you
you're very
or
clearly
any
now,
of the others,
here
have engaged
and now,
in.
saying that there will be no slaughter of any sheep in case of a no-deal Brexit.
Well, it is the case that, by definition, you have the slaughter of sheep.
But slaughter because of the no deal, in excess of sheep normally slaughtered.
Well, it will be the case that the market will necessarily require sheep to be slaughtered in order to meet both domestic demand and export demand. And it would be impossible to say in the future, deal or no deal, whether a particular increase at a particular point in the particular slaughter of particular animals in particular locations was as a result directly of deal or no deal.
Okay, thank you.
But obviously you won't be putting those lambs on planes, will you?
I think that might